One of the biggest questions we hear after a hailstorm is, do I need a new roof? The honest answer is maybe. Before we ever recommend a repair or replacement, we inspect far more than just your shingles. And today, we're going to walk through exactly what we look for during a hail damage inspection and why each piece of it matters. I'm Levi with Above Roofing. Whether you hire us or someone else, a real inspection isn't a 5-minute glance from the driveway. It's a thorough look at your entire roofing system. Every recommendation should be backed by evidence, not assumption. That's really the whole philosophy behind what we do. We don't start by deciding what we think you need. We start by finding out what your roof is actually telling us. So let's walk through it. The first thing we need to establish is the age of the roof. How much service life is likely left. But here's the nuance. A lot of homeowners don't expect that age alone never determines whether a roof needs to be replaced. An 18-year-old roof that's been well ventilated and properly maintained can still be a great candidate for repair. Meanwhile, a 6-year-old roof with poor ventilation or bad initial install can already be showing premature wear. Age is context. It's one data point among many others, but not the deciding factor. We will also ask about prior repairs and any previous insurance claims on the roof because history helps us understand what we're looking at and why. You see, we're looking for a specific thing. Hail bruising, impact marks, granule loss, cracked shingles, torn shingles, lifted shingles from the wind. Each part tells us only a piece of the story. There's something called cosmetic damage and functional damage. This is the distinction that matters most. Research from the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety has found that hail around 1 inch in diameter, roughly the size of a quarter, is generally the threshold where functional damage to a standard roof becomes likely. That said, size isn't the whole picture. The same research group also found that repeated exposure to smaller, sub-severe hail combined with normal weathering can accelerate how quickly shingles age. That's exactly why we don't rely on hail size alone and we don't rely on a single spot on the roof. We're also trained to tell the difference between storm damage and ordinary aging because shingles naturally lose granules and become more brittle over time. And mistaking normal wear for storm damage isn't honest either. Okay, so we need to talk about repairability. Once we know what kind of damage we're dealing with, the next question is, can it actually be repaired? We ask ourselves a few things. Can the damaged shingles be replaced individually? Are matching shingles even still available? Will attempting a repair cause compromise to the surrounding roof? And is the damage isolated to a small area or is it spread out? Some roofs are excellent repair candidates. A handful of damaged shingles in one section with matching product available and no underlying issues. Other roofs simply aren't, and we'll tell you why. This is where being honest matters most to us. If a repair is the right call, we say so, even if that means less work for us. You see, it's not just how much damage there is, it's about where it is. We look at whether damage is isolated to one slope or across multiple slopes. We look at whether the pattern is random, consistent with hail, or concentrated in a way that suggests something else, like foot traffic or mechanical issues. Location matters because it tells us whether a spot repair will actually hold up or whether the roof needs a broader solution. A few damaged shingles on one slope is a very different conversation than damage scattered across all 4 sides of the house. Flashing is one of those things homeowners rarely think about, but it's often where leaks actually start. We check flashings around chimneys, skylights, plumbing vents, walls like over here, and valleys. These are the transition points of your roof, and transition points are always more vulnerable than a flat, open expanse of shingles. A roof can have a perfectly intact shingles and still leak if the flashings around the chimney have failed. That's why we never skip this step, even on roofs that look fine from the ground. See, now this building has very easy attic access, and that is another thing that we check and that you can check to see if hail damage has occurred. We're looking for daylight coming through anywhere it shouldn't, water stains, active leaks, and the condition of the insulation. We also look beyond the roof itself. We look at gutters and downspouts, fascia and siding, and even windows, screens, and air conditioning fins if they're visible. These softer metals often show hail impact before the shingles do, simply because they're made of softer metal. So even though we're not there to inspect your gutters for their own sake, they help tell the story of what the storm actually did to your property. Finally, we factor in a few practical realities. The effect the recommendation shingle products get discontinued or updated over time, and shingle that was available when your roof was installed may no longer be manufactured today. When that happens, matching a small repair to the surrounding roof can be difficult, and in some cases, insurers will never cover replacement or a full slope or the whole roof to avoid visibly mismatched patch, but that determination depends entirely on your specific policy and carrier. We want to be careful here because insurance decisions vary. What's true for one homeowner's policy in Kent County may not be true for another's in Ottawa County. We're not your insurance company, and we won't pretend to speak for them. What we can do is give you an honest, evidence-based report on what your roof needs and let that inform the conversation with your carrier. So here's the philosophy behind everything we just walked through. We don't start by asking whether you need a new roof. We start by asking what your roof actually needs. That means checking age, shingle condition, repairability, damage distribution, flashing, ventilation, decking, exterior components, the attic, and the practical realities of your specific policy. If this video helped you better understand your roof, subscribe for more homeowner education. Our goal is to help you protect what matters most. If you want more detailed video on how a hail inspection is done, because you're trying to figure out whether you should call your insurance adjuster or not, click this video right here. This video will give you a full look at what a hail damage inspection looks like. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if I can't answer them, I'll find somebody at Above Roofing who can.